What's good, everybody? RJ Shelton here, back with another episode of Midwest Recap. Let's go ahead and hop right into it here. Bucks, tough loss last night. They went ahead and lost to Grizzlies 132 to 119. Even though this is kind of a game where you would like to go ahead and get one, Grizzlies didn't have John Morant in the ball game, and you still lose by double digits. That's not a good look. From my honest opinion, I'm really sick of looking at Brook Lopez playing center for the Bucks, but who am I? They are, as I said, fifth in the Eastern Conference this week. They go ahead and face the Thunder, and then they go ahead and face the Hornets. So hopefully we can go ahead and go 2-0 or 2-1. We got to stop losing these type of games when other teams might have their stars resting. But even if they do have their stars on there, we are a team that should be able to go ahead and take care of whoever we play, and we're really not doing that. So we'll see what we got this week. Moving on over to Wisconsin Badger men's basketball. They're fourth right now in the Big Ten. They went ahead and had an incredible game against Northwestern. They were down majority of the game, and they came back in the second half. They won that 75-69. They go ahead and face Indiana this week, and then this weekend they go ahead and face Iowa. And then moving on over to Marquette basketball, they went ahead and had a tough one against UConn. Kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit. The energy of what we normally see from this Marquette basketball team at home wasn't there. They tried to go ahead and turn it on late, and obviously, UConn being coached very well, the players that they have and the intensity that they came with at the beginning of the game, they went ahead and finished that one out. Marquette lost that one 69-77. Marquette this week goes ahead and face St. John's, and then go ahead and face Creighton this weekend. And then moving on over to my Chicago area, the Bulls, they went ahead and lost yesterday to the Pistons, 127 to 119. They are 10th right now in the Eastern Conference. This week they have the Heat and the Timberwolves. And then with the college basketball going on, Illinois Fighting Illini men's basketball, they go ahead and face this week Rutgers and Minnesota. But this past weekend they went ahead and beat Ohio State. If you watched that game, that was on before the Pebble Beach. Definitely a great win for Illinois. It was a back and forth game. Ohio State was majority winning that game. For them to go ahead and come back and win at home, that's huge. They're seventh right now in the Big Ten for Illinois basketball. And moving over, obviously, to Northwestern men's basketball team as well. I keep forgetting them. My bad, people. If I have Northwestern people, that do listen, but I'm covering it. I promise you. I got you. As I mentioned earlier with Wisconsin, they lost that one 75-69. But this week they go ahead and face USC in Washington. Moving on over to the Minnesota area, the Timberwolves are 7 right now in the Western Conference. They have the Bulls and the Rockets this week. 7th right now, 27-22. Again, now is kind of the time where we got to start picking it up. Got to go ahead and start getting more wins than losses. Obviously, the All-Star game's coming up and things like that. But, you want to go ahead and finish strong going into the All-Star break. So no need to be worried, but you got to start getting a little bit, on the edge of your seat, not completely, because you should definitely go ahead and be getting into that 5th and 4th seed, which I think they can do. They have the lineup to do it. I know Anthony Edwards is going to go ahead and lead those guys to go ahead and play at a high level. Go for basketball. They went ahead and lost to Washington 71-68. This week they go ahead and face Penn State and Minnesota this weekend. So, 17th in the Big Ten right now. It's kind of a tough, conference in regards to basketball for Big Ten, but you've got quality wins against, teams that you've played. You beat Oregon, even though Michigan State, you lost to them, but at the end of the day, you got to go ahead and start chipping away. Second half, turn it on, and, when you get in the tournament, possibly go ahead and play well. So there's a lot of basketball left. You got to continue to stack those days to go ahead and get better, to go ahead and, get that, seed of where you are in the Big Ten, in between that 8 and 9, possibly even maybe creep up to get into this, that six seed. But they've been playing well. Just got to go ahead and finish. You look at this Washington game, came down to the wire. When I see tight ball games like that, all I can see is that execution needs to be a little bit better on both ends to go ahead and get you a win. So I'm sure they'll get that shored up, but that's kind of their schedule looking for this week. And then lastly, moving on over to the Detroit area, Michigan area. The Pistons right now, 7th in the Eastern Conference. They go ahead and this week go ahead and face the Hawks and the Cavaliers and then the 76ers. They went ahead and, as I mentioned earlier, beat the Bulls this past weekend, 127 to 119. Cade Cunningham still doing his thing. I love what he's doing for his ball club and leading these guys. He had 22 points, 15 rebounds. 15 assists and 3 rebounds. Jalen Duren, a guy that's blossomed into the, fifth man position for these guys, 21 and 13. And just everyone playing well. So this is good for the Pistons. This is good for Michigan. So definitely go ahead and tune into those games, when they come on this week. So we've all heard, and now let's go ahead and turn on over to the plain and simple segment of this episode. Obviously, we all heard the news of what's going on with the NBA. Probably one of the most shocking trades probably ever in the NBA. We are seeing that Max Christie, Anthony Davis, and a 2029 first-round pick are heading to the Mavericks in return for Luka Doncic and 2 other players. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, this can't be real, just like how all of America was, or basically across the globe was. But it was true. And it's like, Mavs, what are you guys doing? You guys went last year to the finals. The man that you traded away is the not top 5, if not top 3 player, right now in the NBA. Why are you getting rid of him? And obviously we've heard the reasons of, oh, well, he was overweight or wasn't taking, something serious in regards to his body, even though I say he was overweight in the beginning. But it's just like that. Those are like problems that you deal with the output that he has already given you guys for 7 years or how many years it was. Like, I'm so dumbfounded on why would you do this in regards to what you did last year. Luka Doncic is probably one of the pieces that you don't touch. As a GM looking at it, why would you go ahead and trade away that? Not only trade away it, but you trade away it for Anthony Davis. You trade away for Anthony Davis. And then come out to say that I want to go ahead and build, a defense that wins championships. Okay, cool. You look at it like that, I get it. But that's kind of just like one scenario where it's just you look at it and you're like, yeah, no. Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic, I would rather take offense than defense because no one plays defense in the NBA. And when you get down to the playoffs, I'd rather have guys hitting shots than playing defense. Make it make sense. And Luka Doncic, in key situations in the game, went ahead and sealed the deal for you. It wasn't Kyrie. It wasn't anyone on that team but Luka. So I feel completely bad for the people in Dallas. This is a complete low blow, not only for the organization, but for the fans. There's nothing in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys are terrible. Now your Dallas Mavericks team is terrible. I don't even know what MLB team. I don't think the Texans, they might be there. I don't know. No, they are. I think they're. I mean, Texan baseball, hopefully that's good. But it's like, what's going on? What was even that process, Nico? Not thinking. Yeah, I've talked to some people in regards of like, they might have a good starting 6, starting 7, but it's like you literally have now Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the same team. Who's stopping that? Like, really sit and think of who is going to stop Luka Doncic and LeBron James. The only way, there really isn't any other way that you're going to be able to stop them. Like, this is a complete steal for the Lakers. They got Luka Doncic for a bag of chips and a Tahiti drink. We, number one, I feel I've never been in a situation where we've seen this trade. Like, this is more, crazier than when LeBron James went ahead and said that he was going to go to Miami Heat. This is above that because this is not only not even out of the season where everyone's done, like, the championships are over with. They did this middle of the season. So for that to happen right now is insane. This is completely something that no one probably would have ever thought of to even happen. on a Sunday or Saturday night at 12 in the morning when I went ahead and in the chat with my BD boys in regards to us just talking about it, that this would happen. So I can't believe that happened in regards that the Dallas thought that was the right move after doing what they did in the finals last year. But, you look at it, okay, their lineup's good. I mean, you got Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis. Let me see here. I know. So let's go and kind of just break down these lineups here, right? So now obviously all this acquisition has went ahead in between, the Lakers and the Mavs. So now you got Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and Grafford. Then you go ahead, you have Grimes on the bench. Then you go ahead and have Max Christie on the bench. So those are 7 guys right there that you look on paper, you're like, okay, that is a solid rotation. Is that rotation going to go ahead and get them back into the finals? I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. But if you want my honest opinion, the only way that they get back to the finals is that Kyrie Irving literally has to drop 50 a game when it comes to those clutch situations. Just how Luka went ahead and was superhero, Kyrie Irving has to be that guy. Do I think he can do it? Absolutely. Do I think that the players around him are going to go ahead and play the level that they need to play? I don't know. We know about Anthony Davis in the playoffs. We really know about the other players. PJ Washington played well. Obviously adding Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson is iffy. He hasn't been in that position and be in the playoffs in a very long time. So this right here is going to be tough for the Mavericks to go ahead and get back to where they were last year. I mean, they're going to probably have a hard time. I could see them possibly getting by in the first round, but that second round is going to be very tough. So looking at that, I could see maybe if I was the GM, like, this is definitely going to work. But, I mean, you got to live and die by what you did right now. But it's just, we'll have to see. I would have never got rid of our franchise player. I would have paid him whatever it was. So let's go ahead and move on over to the Lakers right now in regards to what kind of their lineup is. I mean, you have now LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Dalton, Rui, Vanderbilt, Duran, Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves. Who else am I missing? Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish. Christian Wood isn't even back yet. You look at that, and now that those guys around them are now going to be solidified role players, they are going to have wide open shots because now you have LeBron James that already people, probably 3 guys already looking at him, but now you have Luka Doncic in there as well, to where now it's the same thing. And both those guys are closers. You either know that they're going to put the ball in the hoop from anywhere, 3-point shot, 2-point shot. What are you going to do when it comes to key situations down the stretch and you have to go ahead and play man? You're not going to help out. You're not going to go ahead and play the lane or go ahead and be in a position where you can help. The Lakers got serious. The Lakers got very serious in regards to making this trade, or getting this trade done with getting Luka on this team. And they right now, especially, whenever LeBron James decides to go ahead and hang it up, which I don't think he's going to now because they just brought in another superstar in Luka Doncic, to where he's going to go ahead and feel at home more than he was with the Mavs, because the Lakers are going to go ahead and cater to whatever he wants and whatever he needs. And I'm looking at all these guys around them that they have. I mean, they went ahead and just beat the Knicks single-handedly this past weekend with no AD. LeBron James had a triple-double. And then you add Luka Doncic onto this team as well. You see what JJ Redick is doing coaching-wise, how they play defense. They just go ahead and just make it tough. If you can go ahead and just stay in front of somebody and rebound, you're going to go ahead and win ball games, especially in the NBA. Bucks couldn't even do that, as we saw last night when we got Brook Lopez, who can't even get a rebound. I couldn't even recall the last time that Brook Lopez might have had 10 rebounds. But that's a whole different situation. But back to this. The Lakers got good, and don't be surprised if this is the Lake Show back in the day. That's all I'm going to say, because they're still going to get active and find a center if they need one. I feel Jackson Hayes and Rui, and Vanderbilt can play. I wouldn't say the 5, but they can guard the 5. They can go ahead and be very active on the defensive end in regards to whoever they're playing. This is crazy to see that we're about to have 2 superstars go ahead and play side by side. And watch out, man. I don't care what anyone's talking about. If you think that the Lakers are not going to be good, it's not going to gel. I was the same way in regards to seeing this. Like, you can't really have two ball dominant guys. I'm going to go ahead and take that completely back. This is going to be must see TV. They're going to go ahead and make noise in the Western Conference. And don't be surprised if they go to the final. I'll say that right now. Don't be surprised if this team goes to the finals. Well, let's say that LeBron plays for 3 more years, 2 more years. There's a good likely chance that they're going to be in the finals those 2 years or 3 years. Because this team and how they're coached and what they do, and now adding the pieces that they have at the helm of 2 superstars, legitimate superstars that get the job done when needed. Unreal. Great for the NBA. I think this is definitely something that needed to be happened to get a little bit more eyes into the NBA. You can sit there and say, "Oh, LeBron was behind it." Who cares? Like, I'm done hearing that. Or, "Oh, it's not going to work out." Okay, well, we don't know if what's going to work out over the Mavs. The Mavs can go ahead and lose 15 games and then not even they play in to get into the playoffs. The Grizzlies just went ahead and beat the Bucks double digits without Ja Morant. So I'm just saying this is crazy that this had went down the way it did. But I think the Lakers, now looking at it and kind of just sitting and seeing everything, just knowing playoffs, knowing what the playoffs hold for players, that what they need to do to win and go to the next round. You need superstars. You need guys like the Lakers have right now. I'm not Kyrie. Yes, he can do it. Don't get me wrong, but you saw what happened last year, what you need to go ahead and get into the finals. What you need on your team to go ahead and close games out. You need a closer. Luka Doncic is a closer. The Lakers got another closer. The Lakers got another superstar. It's crazy, man. We shall see what happens, but it's looking like the Lake Show right now. And then obviously there was other trades as well that happened. Zach LaVine's going to the Kings, teaming up obviously again with DeRozan, and Fox is heading over to the Spurs. I'm not worried about none of that. That's just going to be good for the NBA to watch. Wembanyama and Fox, yeah, that'll be cool, but that's not going to, I feel, go ahead and get them into, the second round or the finals or anything like that. Sacramento, I think, good. Not saying the same situation as the Spurs, but I mean, they'll play competitive. They'll get into the playoffs, but I don't think that they'll get past the second round. But those are good moves. I mean, especially for the Western Conference, that's good. But this Lakers thing, man, is something serious. With that, man, thank you for obviously tuning in. Hopefully you guys are having a good week up to this week. Hopefully your weekend, this past weekend, was incredible. Continue to tap in. If you haven't, please go ahead and hit all the follow buttons on Spotify so you go ahead and get the notifications so when Off the Top Show pops up. Obviously this week, lineup of obviously the BD Boys and Spartan Dogs are definitely going to be upon us. Go ahead and attack the day. Let's just get better. We'll see you soon. Peace out.